And we are live. Hello. I'm so happy to have you with me, Valerie.
Thank
Always happy to
you.
have you.
Thank you for
thank you for pushing this forward a little bit and had a chance to go have a potty break and get some water between shows. But yeah.
it's
How have you
important.
been? How have you been? Good?
I'm good. I'm really
Oh,
good. And that's a
excellent.
good thing to start with. It's important to hydrate. Hydrate,
Yep.
hydrate, especially this week. Well, all the
Ah,
time. But
absolutely. Valerie's got some things to tell us about this week astrologically.
Mhm.
And I'm also going to have her talk a little bit about Mercury and so on. But I want to
Mhm.
say hi, Pierrette. Hi, Richie. Hi, Siwi. And hi, Akila. Thank you for being here.
How are
Um,
you, James? How
it's so
cute.
nice to see.
Akira.
Yeah.
I met her
Yeah. Hi,
yesterday.
Craig again. Samantha. Thanks for
Mhm.
coming back, everybody. We're going to talk about, Valerie's going to talk about some cool stuff.
Some cool stuff. Some cool stuff that we can't control. The planets, right? The
That's
planets are
right.
always moving. But this is a
Uh-huh.
this is a powerful week because tomorrow, and it's really happening today. We have the Sun conjunct Pluto, which means it's right next to it. Tomorrow, it'll be right on top of it. So, what does
Uh-huh.
that mean? That means the universe is wanting us to highlight looking at Pluto, the things that we are, 'cause Pluto is the planet of transformation.
Hmm.
If you're heart centered in a spiritual community, you're doing the best you can, you're pretty much on your path. Pluto will work with you. If the sun will assist that whole situation and open it up for you, like opening doors for you, right? But if you're not in integrity or you're not following your heart or working, trying to, enlighten yourself, let's say, that's where you got issues with Pluto. So, with that being said, tomorrow that's exact. Tomorrow is also Mercury goes stations direct.
Okay. Right.
So that so that's stationing, and that what does stationing mean? For it to actually appear to be moving forward, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks. We had Mars just go
Boo.
direct.
Boo. Sorry.
Mars went direct on the 12th, right? But
Hmm.
he's going to be at 8 degrees, like for most of the month and a little bit in the beginning of February. But, but we're going to have, we want to wait, okay? Because we have, we have this Pluto and the sun being together. We have Mars that's went direct, but it's hardly moving. Mercury's going to be direct tomorrow, but it'll be hardly moving for 2 to 3 weeks.
Hmm.
On the 21st, the sun goes from Capricorn because the sun's in Capricorn right now and moves into Aquarius. On that same day, that evening, well, I'm sorry, the 20th, and then the 21st, we have a new moon in
Oh,
Aquarius.
okay.
So we have all this Aquarius action happening right there. And
Hmm.
then the 22nd, this we have Uranus stationing direct. Now Uranus rules Aquarius. So we have
Oh,
a big chunk of Aquarius, which is giving us, it's an air sign, and it's giving us the information we need, along with
oh,
Mars and Mercury and everybody else. And once we have that information, which will be about 2 weeks to a month, we're ready to go. We want to go, right? But it's
hmm,
really, if you're not have a solid plan, give it time because spirit is still communicating with us.
right.
Sorry. So,
So yes, it is a big week. I
mhm,
have a question about Pluto.
mhm,
Pluto takes up a lot of time around the sun. What is it, 29 years or more
uh,
than that?
29 years, no, 248 3 years. Sorry, 243 years for one revolution.
Rotation?
Yeah, so we will never, ever be alive for a Pluto return for us. But
Okay.
we are alive right now, which happens to be right now.
For the change.
Pluto is in Capricorn, 27 degrees Capricorn. This
Yeah.
is the third time he's hit that. America's birth chart is July 4th, 1776.
Right.
That's where Pluto was when we were born.
Right.
So Pluto has just made it America's first Pluto birthday.
First. Right. Right.
See how the things that aren't in integrity are being
Are
exposed,
being pulled out and exposed.
coming up,
Absolutely.
because
Yep.
he's going to level that. He
Yep.
that's not what you said. You said for the people, by the people, freedom for all. And Pluto is serious about your word.
Your
You know,
word.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So Jules, you're not the only one. I'm exhausted, and I slept like 12 hours last night. So I think we just have all this brown stuff, that's driving us just a little bit wild, but it sounds to me, and you did mention that this is a great week for us.
Yeah.
Because of the things that are happening, and things are going to get better. That's what you highlighted, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And another thing, Jules, the sun has been shooting off flares and CMEs. Now, thankfully, none of those were direct, but we had last week 3 X-class solar flares, and we've had a bunch of M-class. But if you look at the sun, which I check every day to see what it's doing, it is just it can get intimidating, but that energy coming off the sun hits even though it's not a direct hit, it hits our magnetosphere, which shakes up things, right? And it helps loosen the blocks. It helps loosen the things on the planet that are, for a better word, where freedom isn't. I'm very focused on freedom for all. And so the sun is assisting us in shaking up the blocks, shaking up the things that aren't working. Because if it can shake the planet, it's obviously shaking us. And it is very exhausting. Our fields are getting pummeled, and we have all these other major aspects going on. So it's intense.
And we are already halfway through January. So yes, to me, and I used to think that it was just because I'm older that time is speeding up, because when we're kids, it seems to last forever. But I've never seen it this fast. It just boom, 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 the day's gone, it's amazing.
And so that has a lot to do with, because the sun, all the planets, where we're at in the solar system, our solar system is spiraling through space. We're connected. We're inside of a galaxy that's also spiraling through space at speeds that I couldn't even tell you. But we've never been here before. We've never been in this part of space before. And we all know that something is going on spiritually. We all know that we're waking up to things that we weren't, our gifts, say psychic gifts, intuitive gifts.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay. And these things are, they're humanity is evolving, is really what it is. We could call it ascension, we could call it leveling up, we could call it whatever you want, but you see more people are more heart-centered and soul-centered.
That's true. Yep. 45 seconds, that's a lot of time. I mean, it is and it isn't, but it is. If you sat here and tried to count to 45 seconds, you got some time. You could be doing a lot more than just sitting. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, Kate, buckle up and hold on.
Yeah. And science is even proving that the astrology is proving it. There's so many things happening in our spot in space that it's you can't make any of this up. Look at all these people that are really waking up, understanding that they have gifts and abilities, and we all do. It's just a matter of using that muscle,
Uh-huh.
right? And
Uh-huh. Yep.
training yourself.
That's right. That's right. Great question, Lise. I did this back in 1995. I went to an astrologer. I had to have bariatric surgery, which is on my stomach. And I did not want to have it under any cancer influence because that rules the stomach. And so I had her calculate, and she said, well, the better thing is to wait. I don't know. This woman said to wait 9 months, and I couldn't wait that long. So I said, pick something that isn't so bad, but not so far away. So she did. And I went in and they wanted to schedule me. And I said, I can't have it until this time. And they said, well, why? They kept, why can't you? Why can't I said, well, astrologically, it isn't wise. And boy, was I laughed at. Oh my God. Every time I came in, they pointed at me and whispered about it. I didn't care though.
It's so true. There are certain aspects you shouldn't have anything done. You shouldn't.
Right.
New moons are good for haircuts. So
okay.
Try to get your hair cut around a new moon. That's when we're planting seeds and things are going to grow. More. They're going to grow better on a new moon than they would a full moon. Now, is it that much noticeable? There's people who swear by that. So you'd have to play with it and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely check on surgery.
This is what I think. If you're having surgery, you want to find out what, obviously you'll know what area of the body's getting the surgery, unless it needs to be done as an emergency. But I knew. And so for me, I just felt that cancer was important because it rules the stomach. And I didn't want any. Now, maybe it would have been I just said, you figure out the best time. If it was your feet, it would be something with Pisces. If it would, and Libra's kidneys. And there's just a lot of other things. But yeah, I agree. And you can ask somebody that is an astrologer if it is a good idea for you to do it then. Yeah, I love that question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Absolutely. Yes, Mother Gaia is ascending too, and the experts are freaking out about it. And look at all the things that are happening with our storms and our weather and all the other things that we're having problems with. I often wonder, there was just a horrible plane crash in Nepal. Did you see that there was a plane crash there like yesterday or the day before? And somebody was taking a video out the window and everything was fine. And then apparently the plane crashed and he was still taking a video, but they didn't show it. And I'm wondering, there are things that can interfere with air traffic control.
Absolutely. And when the sun shot off those 3 X-class solar flares last week, it just happened to be our air traffic got grounded in the United States. So I don't think they would ever say that was the reason, but in my heart of hearts, I believe that was why. We were getting, and you can see video live stream of Soho and what the sun's doing in any moment. And that was really bouncing our magnetosphere around. So there's radio blackouts happen.
I didn't know it was flying too slow. That's interesting. I did not know that. Okay.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Yes, Craig, haircuts on a new moon. So that would be the 21st, right? So there you go. If you need one, go get one. I love it.
I wanted to say one more thing about the moons.
Okay, sure.
So since October, all full moons have been at 16 degrees and will stay that way until April. Now that's really, really unusual. That's, I don't know, 7 months. Wait, October, November. Yeah.
So the degrees, what do the degrees do to make meaning of that?
Well, number, okay. So say we were talking about numerology. That's when you get into the degrees, and there's all different ways to look that up. There's Sabian symbols. There's many ways to look up the degrees, but 16 degrees equals a 7. 7 is spiritual. It's a highly spiritual number.
Yes, it is.
This 2023 is a 7.
It's a 7. Yes.
And okay, so that's the full moons. All new moons are at 1 degree for 7 months. So 1 degree in a lot of places is a new beginning, new start.
Yeah,
right?
number 1. Yep.
Heart-centered. It rules Leo. So
Okay.
there's a lot going on because that is a rare occurrence for
Okay.
the moons, the full moons, and the new moons to be at the same degree consistently for 7 months, and both of them are doing it at the same time. That's never heard of. Never heard of.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that way till April. The same. It will follow through 1 and 16.
Yeah, April. Okay, the new moon in March is 0 degree Aries. Then there's the new moon in April. So there's 2 new moons in
March.
Real close. April. Okay. Sorry. March 21st, then April 20th. That new moon is 29 degrees. That's when it changes to, but it's also in Aries. So we have 2 new moons in Aries this year, which that's kind of happens sometimes, it's not like it's unheard of, but it is absolutely really rare.
But if you add those numbers together, 9 and 2, you get an 11, which is a master number. So that might, to me, would be really a powerful moon, wouldn't it?
So it goes from being 1 to an 11, right? And the full moon in April is on the 6th. Okay, it's not giving me a degree. I'm sorry. I thought I had them all here. No, it's still 1. It's yeah. So that's a 1 on that. Wait, no. Sorry, 16. I don't know. That's the full moon. So the last 1 degree, which is actually a 0, is March 21st, but it's really close with the seconds in there. The thing is, for it to go from a 0 in March, new moon, to 29, which is 30 degrees, right, in the astrology chart, is fascinating. It's like it's just going from 0 to 29 in a month. And
plus it's also on the solstice this year. The full moon's going to be on the solstice. Isn't that the solstice?
Yeah. I know
is the 21st. Isn't the 21st the solstice? The spring. I'm sorry, the spring. It's spring on the 21st, isn't it?
Is that
equinox?
March?
That's what I meant. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then so that's on the equinox. Then the one in April, new moon on 29 degrees, is an eclipse. It's really and that's an Aries eclipse. And then we have on May 5th another Scorpio eclipse. So Scorpio is helping Pluto because Pluto rules Scorpio. Remove all this density, all the density. Yeah, all the crap that's not working for humanity.
Okay. So when people say March is going to be very good for all of us, and we've heard that over and over with, a lot of this has to do with this astrological changes of the moons and, of course, being on the equinox. That's got to be very powerful. Oh, my Lord. Yeah.
And so we have also in March, Capricorn will go into Pisces. Let me see what I got. Hold on. The big one, Pluto goes into Aquarius. Pluto's the last planet to go through Aquarius. That's like opening the door. It's a portal. Opening up to the age of Aquarius. Now, it's still going to take a while for us to get there, but yes, Saturn, March 7th, goes into Pisces. Pluto goes into Aquarius on the 23rd, so 2 days after that moon. Mars goes to Cancer not until May. The nodes, which is important because we have that Scorpio South Node, Taurus North Node right now. So again, Scorpio is working to remove all this gunk and stuff that's holding humanity back. Taurus is laying groundwork for how do we want to rebuild? Because we're getting rid of stuff, but at the same time, you have to rebuild it in a way that is for life affirming, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's just a really, really cool time. But this whole year and a half, 2 years, well, actually, since COVID, we've been releasing, right? And here
Right.
we are. We're about to go into what do we want to create. So
There you
that's
go.
the most important thing for everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
Be conscious of your creation.
Right.
What's your path? Where do you want to go? Because again, if you're not following your heart, this is where Pluto will step in and say, no, no, no,
Yeah.
make life very difficult. So
Right.
it's really, to me, simple, follow your heart, but it's not. It's easier said than
It's
done.
easier said than done. That's right, because we have our will, and sometimes we push our will too hard.
Right.
But Jules has a good question. Do these busy astrological events only affect those who are light workers or everyone? I think it's
No,
everyone, isn't it?
everyone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
because these events, these aspects, the sun, all of this together is shaking us up to remove the blocks, to remove the density. So this is a very good question, because this year we're going to see a lot more people waking up and going, what is going on?
Okay.
Yes,
Thank God. They're
that's
getting
why
the
we're
message.
here. Yeah. We're going to
Wow.
help them. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yep. We're going to help them along.
it's
Well, I
really
got some other comments here that I want to just share. Karen says Mercury retrograde did a number on her. Everything broke down, even a tooth, and rude guests at her Airbnb. It's not quite over, Karen. Everybody had something. I really think my husband lost a tooth as well. I had all kinds of power outages at my house. And I was involved in situations where I was the only one that knew we were in a retrograde, like a meeting I
yeah.
had to go to, and everybody's bitching, and I'm going, you know, yeah, this is what happens,
Yeah,
yeah,
another thing, Karen, all of these aspects, it's just not Mercury. I mean,
true,
that's the one we point a finger at and we blame, right? But
uh-huh.
it's gonna sound kind of shitty, and I'm sorry, but you want these things. You want to see what's not working in your life, what needs attended to. And
Mm-hmm.
because look, you probably fixed all that stuff. Now you're on a new path. You're
Yeah,
on. You have a more solid foundation
yeah,
than prior, and yeah, it does bring out the nasty in people. Things do break down and need replaced, but
mm,
and Mars probably had a lot to do with that too, with
yeah,
the
it did. And Mars was that energy. It was the war energy,
yeah,
isn't
but
that true? Yeah.
yeah, but he can't really be in the war energy because he's in Gemini. Another
Oh,
unusual thing.
okay.
Mars is usually in a sign for a month and a half. Well, he's in Gemini for 7 months.
Uh-huh.
So he doesn't change until May, right? But
Yeah.
he's in Gemini. Gemini is what? Should I do this? Should I do that? It's always a duel.
Yeah.
There's twins. There's everything has an opposite anyway, but this is really
Yes.
highlighting that. And Mars doesn't really like that because he likes to go. Like
He
if he
likes to
was
go and get
married,
things done.
yeah,
Yeah.
he would be gone, but he can't. And he was
Yeah.
retrograde.
So Karen said you thought it also was a major cleaning. Yeah, it sounds like it was. It
Yeah.
really does. So Uversa the Oracle, it's not quite over. It goes direct tomorrow, but Valerie is saying that it takes about you're in the shadow side of it,
Yeah.
and it takes about 2 weeks to completely clear itself out. So hang in there. Know that it's getting better.
Yeah, and it will feel better in about 2 to 3 weeks. You will, because all the planets will be going in direct motion. They don't
Right.
really go retrograde. They are retrograde from our observation from Earth, but
Uh-huh.
it impacts us. We can see that,
Yep.
by what people are saying. And things will get smoother, yes, but I don't, the planets are constantly moving, things constantly happening. So I don't know if we're ever out of it. Maybe.
I know. But there's always some, it's the combination of all of them that's, you know, you may have some good stuff over here and some not so good stuff over here, but Samantha wonders if Saturn and Pluto have similar energies.
Well, kind of, but Saturn's more about your structure, your material world structures. So, you know, do you have everything, all your ducks in a row? Right. That's Saturn. Pluto is more your spiritual structure. Are you in integrity as a soul? Are you honoring your soul and following your heart? But Pluto can, you know, be very
is Pluto also in the 11th house or the 12th house usually?
Well,
or is it
Pluto? It can be wherever.
Oh, wherever it is in your chart. Okay.
Yeah, wherever we pull the chart up. He rules Scorpio, right? Or Scorpio. He rules Scorpio. So Scorpio rules the 8th house.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's sex, death, taxes, you know, all the things.
That's where I have a lot of planets, and I've done taxes, higher education, and I talk about death all the time. So there you go.
Yeah, and as long as you're in integrity, you're good, you know?
I guess so. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble. Saturn is the taskmaster, but that's more for, is that more for physical, or it could be physical, or it could be work life?
Yeah.
Is that?
Anything on the material plane.
On the material plane.
You need that structure, right?
Right.
What do you do for work? What do you know, how do you plan out your day, your months, your year, you know, your 5-year plan? That's
your 5-year plan. Yeah. All I know is that most people, they only know about Mercury, and they, like I said in the last show, they call it Mercury is in Gatorade. You know, they don't understand what it is. But you know, I was very happy to hear more about when Mars was retrograde, and you said Uranus was retrograde. We had a lot of retrograding planets at the same time. We don't always have that, do we? It isn't always like that.
Well, like the last few years have been quite intense astrologically. Like 10 years ago, I'm not saying there wasn't aspects going on astrologically, but nothing like these last 4 or 5 years. This is unusual. That's why when I look at it and I know, you know, the spirit people are waking up spiritually, becoming more heart-centered, their gifts and abilities are coming online. I can see it in the astrology. So
understood.
Really cool.
Well, I mean, if you have done charts for so many of us, including myself, and the things that are revealed to us, we go, wow. And, you know, it's almost as though we wish we could have that tape when the first day we were born, but I don't know that we'd change anything anyway. It doesn't matter.
Everything we've experienced brought us to this point.
That's to this point. That's right. So Lisa, her son's car was pulled over and towed. I asked for the most benevolent outcome. It was resolved that he thought faster than he thought it would. So she says, I'll take it, Faith. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. You let it go, Lisa. Yep. Yeah. And that's the only way to do it.
And that is the only way to do it, right? You have to ask for assistance from our guides, guardians, our higher self, Mother, Father, God. Everybody's listening, wanting to help us. You know, it's a matter of being aware of that and voicing your preferences and desires.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So very good. I'm encouraged. I always am encouraged when I know that I realize there is a shadow time, but it won't come back, I don't think, probably until June, the Mercury, because it's about 4, isn't it about 3 or 4 times a year?
It depends. It depends. Mercury in Pisces. Okay, so Mercury will eventually go to Pisces on March 2nd to the 19th. I don't have the retrograde down.
That's okay. So you can actually just go to Google and put in Mercury
Mhm.
retrogrades 2023,
Yeah.
and you can prepare yourself. The other thing you don't want to do usually during a Mercury retrograde is sign any contracts. You don't want to have things done unless they are revisions. Like I did a refinance during a Mercury retrograde, and that's okay because it had a re on it. See,
Mhm.
it was a refinance. Or you review something. I've
Mhm.
always had trouble wherever I'm ready to buy a house. It seems like Mercury's in retrograde.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't, how do you explain that to somebody? But I'm not signing a contract that I'm stuck with for the rest of my life. And then I wonder, it's funny that she mentioned the fact that, would you feel this if you were a light worker, or is this for everybody? And it is for everybody. But I often wonder if you're aware of it, if you, it's good to be aware of it, but not good to be aware of it. But if you aren't aware of it at all, I wonder if it still happens. It reminds me of, does a bear shit in the woods,
Yeah.
or if a tree falls in the woods, did it make a noise?
Right.
It's
Exactly.
that kind of thing. Yeah. So,
But that's why we have guides and guardians and our higher self, because they do steer, they help us, because we're asking for help. I'm buying a house. Is this a good idea? You might not know what the planets are, but you'll get those nudges, right? And another thing, if say you've been looking for a house for 5 months, Mercury goes retrograde the week you find your perfect house, right? But you've been putting in the work, so that's okay. You
okay,
initiated something way before that happened. But
right.
say, oh, today I'm going to go, and today, which would be the worst day, right? Because it goes stations direct tomorrow. I'm going to go buy a house and a car. This is not,
Not a good time. Yeah. And we've had a lot of Mercury retrogrades at Christmas time. We didn't this year. It came later. But you're going to buy an electronic thing for somebody. And I've been stuck where I knew it was coming, and I would buy it before the retrograde started, or wait till it was over. And I know that sounds a little silly to live by that, but it's just, in my experience, it cuts the pain in half. It's not so bad.
It is not silly. This is all very, very important.
Right.
Diane, oil painter, will tell you.
She said Pluto often gets a bad rep because his job is to take down whatever doesn't. It's like the tower.
Exactly.
It's the tower.
Exactly.
And we have to take it down before we can build it up. And I'm wondering, it'd be interesting to see when the Republican Party was formulated, the date and where and so on, and see, because right now that is just not doing that well.
Well, that's going to play out, right? But that and everything, I have to say this to myself every day, because I get very frustrated and angry about how things are taking so long, but everything in divine timing, right?
Right.
And Pluto will go retrograde again. He'll only go into Aquarius for 2 months, and then he's going to backtrack back into Capricorn. Now, see, every time he does that in the next year, he's exposing more and more of our political BS. Every time.
Every time.
Another thing will be uncovered. Another truth will be shown. Another disgusting event that they try to do will be exposed. So just know that will continuously be shown to us. And the thing that we have to worry about is the media, because the media just wants to pump up fear.
Sure.
Right? They want to keep you all upset.
Absolutely.
And out. But like 2024, I think it's January, Pluto will be solidly in Aquarius.
Okay.
So that's what I say to everybody. Like the next year, maybe year and a half, it's going to look rocky. It's going to look like, the sky's falling and there's no hope.
Yeah.
But there is. There really is.
Yeah. So I read something about, I finished reading Prince Harry's book, Spare, and it's I think it was very well written. I know it was ghost written, but he had to tell him the stories, and I feel as though it's his voice that's in there. But I think it's important for us to hear two sides to the story because, you know, the British press, they don't tell the truth. But what I really felt bad about was apparently there was something about him. He should have waited longer. There was something about Pluto in the chart when it got released, because it got released the 10th.
Well, Mercury. Okay, so Mercury was in
Mercury was in retrograde.
Mars and Uranus. So, and you would
Not
think,
a good time. Yeah.
I almost would bet money that most wealthy people or royals have an astrologer.
Yeah, I know. They do. A lot of them do. Yep.
I don't understand what that's about.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy.
And I'm seeing people really argumentative about it. And my feeling is that there are, you know, they say, well, he's bad on his parents and this and that or whatever, or his father and his brother and so on and so forth. But there's some things that they've done that have not been very supportive. So I just enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done, but I do agree they should have waited. They should have waited, absolutely waited before they let that.
There might be a reason for that, because maybe he's going to come out with another book.
He is.
Oh, he is? Okay.
He already says he has enough that he could do another one. But
I mean, look what they did to his mom. You know, I mean,
I know. Yeah, and I mean, people say, oh, he's whining and boo-hooing and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, no, he was not treated well. As a matter of fact, he was mostly born that he could be a spare parts for William. Yeah, spare parts, or he could take over if William passed or whatever. That's kind of a shitty way to think about somebody.
That's literal.
Absolutely. It's like you have your two boys. And you had the second one, so the spare parts could go to the. Come on, you know, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, Warrior Girl. Thank you for doing that. Anything recycling and all that stuff. Perfect. Yes, perfect. Let's see.
I mean, the universe helps us take that pause and really rethink where we're going. And again, you might not even know this is going on, but you somehow in you instinctively do that, you know?
Yep, I do. Samantha, yes, knowing it does prepare us. It also, I had a discussion with my husband that turned into what he called a fight, which I didn't. But communication, we had a communication problem, and we both looked at each other and we said, energies are bad. We'll revisit later. So, because we both knew, knew. Yeah. Not a good deal to do, you know?
And that's the proper way to handle things.
But forewarned is forearmed as well. You can say, you know. Juno had asked why Disney might have named their dog Pluto, and Diana says Pluto got his name because he appeared in cartoons around the weeks that Pluto was discovered. Did not know that, Diana. That's really awesome.
38, I think he was discovered. But that would make perfect sense. I love how Diana knows all these little.
I know. I remember writing. I when I was in 6th grade, I wrote something because I believed in reincarnation and I believed in planetary travel. I guess I was 11, and I said I wanted to meet Abraham Lincoln, which everybody thought was that I was, of course, really crazy, but also that I wanted to visit Pluto one day. And then, of course, I had the astrological surgery thing going. So I just have always had people look at me through.
And look, what was it just last year? We got those pictures of Pluto, and it had that big heart on it. And it had that huge heart on there. And I just
I know. I know. Isn't it amazing? It's like the planet sent us their love. Yeah.
Look at Diana. Diana's awesome. She sent me the Republican Party birth date.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, if my old eyes can see. Let's see.
When was it? When was it that they were born?
October 12th, 1953.
Well, the newer Republican Party.
Republican Party, right?
Yep. Because Republicans used to be liberals.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right. Wow.
Let me see where it was. It was in
Thanks, Viviani. April 21st to May 14th. Of course, I have to travel then. Oh, shit.
Wait, what's that? Oh,
April
April
21st to May 14th. Yeah.
Okay, but see, Viviani, look, you have plans. You already have plans
Have the
in
plans.
your,
Yeah.
you
True.
already have it all, lined up.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
if there's anything that needs to be, honed in on, do that
Uh-huh.
now while things go.
While things are safe. Yeah.
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 No, you've already had plans. I don't
Okay.
see
No
any.
problem.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you take the time to put that in, and I'm just going to talk about some of these other things that are up.
Cool.
Juno, there's a Japanese temple that every 20 years is disassembled and reassembled. Yeah, representing they do that with their sand mandalas as well. They spend all this time and they color it and they do all these things, and then when it's over, they just want you to know nothing is permanent, so they get rid of it. Yeah. Thanks for that, Juno. That's
and
really awesome.
Juno has this wealth of information too. All of you.
I know. I love it, and I love sharing it. Thank you all for sharing it. It's so nice.
I mean, all of you are brilliant.
I know. Yep. So Jules is a Scorpio. Many people think I'm going to be a horrible person because of the generic brand. Yes. I know that.
You tell them this, Jules.
Yeah.
I am one of the Scorpio. Okay, is the best researcher, the best detective, can see things, break it down on a molecular level so fast and make your head spin. Scorpios they're intimidating because they can see through the bullshit. That's why people are afraid of Scorpios.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. Find the what do you call it? Find the beauty and tell them that stuff. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I understand. Okay, so you're working on the Republican birth chart. All right, let's see.
I'm not sure. I need to ask Diana what. Okay, so it must be in Aries. Am I seeing this right, Diana? Pluto in Aries for a Republican birth chart, or is it Taurus?
Oh, she says it's a Libra. Oh, the first one was born in 1850. Okay.
So they were pretty well balanced, maybe, back then.
But then, yes.
But now they're Taurus. They're 1 degree Taurus in the 1953 chart. So what is that? Bullheaded. The lower. Okay. I'm going to say this. Every planet.
And any Taurians out there, we're not picking on you. Okay.
Let me say this real quick. Every sign has lower vibrational attributes and higher vibrational attributes. True. And we're all somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
But we can see that they're at very low vibrational, right? So they're Taurus, they're bullheaded. They don't want to change. They'll stay in the mud. They'll dig their hooves in and just stay. So I'd like to see that. I'm going to talk to Diana later. We'll get the chart for now against that chart and see what's
Yes, make a comparison.
Thank you, Diana. Oh my God.
Oh, she says another one is is that the one, March 20th, 1854? But that's not the modern one, correct? The modern one was 52 or was 1852?
Maybe I'm no, what's this say? 1852 was.
And then there's another one on 1854. Okay. I think you said 1952, but
my eyesight. Let me see. Oh, is that 18, Diana? 1853 or?
She said she sent one for 1854.
Okay. Sorry.
But that one there would be was March. She's March 20th. So that's right on the cusp, isn't it? It would be the cusp from Taurus into.
Well, no, that's a Pisces into Aries, right?
Oh, Pisces into Aries. Okay. Yeah.
I think. Wow. I don't know. I'd have to see because I can't. Everything's blurry.
Yeah, there are different states as well. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay. But it would be something fun to learn about. It really would be. And I was thinking more just the Republican Party, but something did shift in that party because everybody was saying that the Republicans were the ones that were liberal and they were the ones all about this and that, and then they shifted after. I'm trying to think after who.
Well, this
Um,
this one I'm looking at that you sent me, Diana, has Pluto in the second house of Taurus. I didn't
hmm.
see the sun. Okay, so the sun I see. Okay, the sun is Libra. I got you.
Yeah, you'd think, but
Yeah.
you'd think it would be well balanced. But there's
Well,
things about us Libras that don't balance all the time either.
but
Yeah,
they have been hijacked since then. You know, they were for the
that's
people
true.
and they really were helpful to people. Now they don't want to give anyone anything. They don't even want to give you your social security that you paid into. It's
I know.
crazy.
So she says, and way back then it was different because we were not 50 states, which is very true.
Yeah.
We've now become the, what is it? We had maybe 48 states or
Yeah.
whatever it was. And back in the 1850s, it was even less. So
Mhm.
yeah, Lincoln and the Civil War shifted the party. Okay, that
Mhm.
makes sense. It's
Yeah,
just interesting to me.
I
It just
know.
was
I love this
interesting.
stuff. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it. I could just listen
Uh,
all day to
I
history
know. I
and how
know.
it lines up with the planets. I have
Uh-huh.
the Sibley chart, which is the our birth America's birth chart, and
Uh-huh.
I have the Constitution chart. So America's birth chart has Pluto in Capricorn, where it is now at 27 degrees.
Right.
It has Mars in Gemini, where it is now, and it has Chiron in Aries. Now Chiron in Aries, Chiron's your deepest wound.
Wounded.
Yeah,
Wounded. Yeah.
wounded healer. So all those three, and they're all two of them are ruled by Pluto again, right?
Yeah.
Mars and Pluto. I mean, yeah, Scorpio are involved. You know,
Scorpio. Right.
so we have the Scorpio South Node right now too. That's just getting rid of all this stuff. It's exposing it, you know, and it's
Yes.
being, you know, how we're all discussing it. The media's discussing it. But
Mhm.
we know that they tried to commit treason. I don't
Yeah.
care how you try to word it. You, you tried to overthrow your government, you know, so
Yep. It's astrological diarrhea. That's what
yeah,
it is.
yes it is. Yes it is.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Andrea, that was one of the nicest things that we got out of uh, knowledgeable things we got out, which was the Broadway play Hamilton and all the beautiful songs and all the things about that time period that were happening. And, there has to be, I'm sure there's somewhere in the chart that says that was going to make its way out to us because, yeah, oh yeah, corporations are people too. Oh God. Yeah, give me a break. Yeah.
Oh, that just infuriates me. And I
Yeah.
try to stay centered, but you know,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. Yeah, but my husband was saying when I get upset about something because what is it? McCarthy got up and said that George Santos, he needed to stay, and he was going to go by what the Constitution said. These people elected him, and he wasn't going to take that away from the people that voted for him. And I thought, oh, now it's working to your advantage. The Constitution is,
well,
and that's what they do all the time. They muddy
yeah,
the
yeah,
waters. Yeah,
yeah. And they
yeah,
twist, you know, they twist the lies and mix it with the truth, and
yeah, yeah.
they're and see, this is who Pluto is going to slaughter. And when I say slaughter, I literally mean slaughter.
Uh
These
huh.
people for being so disingenuous
Uh huh.
and doing what they've done.
Yep.
I
I
wouldn't
know.
want to be them. They think it's a joke. It's not.
It's not a joke. Um,
Mm-mm.
George Santos, actually, his name is George DeVolder.
Oh my
George
God.
DeVolder.
I saw that too.
Um, but I think I think he's married to a man. So I think he took
Mm.
it's very possible he took that person's name.
Hmm.
Um, but anyway, I don't know. Everybody's having a good time with George Santos because they're saying, how he used to be the speaker and he used to have Academy Awards and all these other things just because he has such crazy claims that he makes. So
He's a
yeah, his name
liar.
is a joke.
He's a
Yeah,
liar.
his
So,
name was a joke.
and we already know he's a liar, and they're liars. We know it. And the frustrating part on our part is that we can see through all this.
I didn't know his first name wasn't even right, Karen.
Mm.
Okay. Anthony DeVolder, his mother's name. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Just it reminds me of what we get because what we had. In other words, the liar in chief brought all that in and made it okay and acceptable. And so now we're seeing the ramifications of that, of course.
And he did say, right? He said, I'm going to expose the swamp, right? He thought he was going to be able to control that. Pluto said, no. Let's show you who the swamp people are.
The swamp is you guys.
So, but they're, you know how they are. They'll look at you and tell you the sky's purple when you can see it's blue, you know, and it's those type of people that are being.
Yeah. But it is one of those diversions. Juno's right. It's absolutely, they're giving us that so we don't see what's over here. You know, we don't. Yeah, it's a diversion. Andrea says about the song "The Room Where It Happens," and you know what's his name? That was the title of his book. The guy with the big mustache that was in the White House. Yeah, I know. It's very, very okay. His mother worked in finance by vacuuming the carpet in the office. Oh, that's funny. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks, guys. Does anybody have any other questions about what's upcoming or about any kind of astrological question? Because we not only have Valerie, we have Diana Bowles, and we have, I think, Warrior Girl does some astrology, and she's in the chat. So put it out there, and we'll be glad to answer it. Or we can do a readings. We have our cards ready if you'd like to have readings done.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, you're funny, Craig. Oh my. George Shanto says camel toe. Oh, you're so silly. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it is a diversion. Oh my God. It's terrible.
So Warrior Girl says she hears that March is going to be hard.
Everything, there's big planetary changes. Saturn's going into Pisces. Pluto's going into Aquarius. There's another big thing. Mars is not Mars. Let's see. And yeah, when those big outer planets change signs, we're going to feel it, you know. Yeah, it's something else, and it's escaping me right now. Diana would know. Diana, what am I missing on March? But just those two alone are big enough. Saturn in Pisces, though, is going to give us a better view, like
better view of it.
How to create structure on our world, on our material plane of existence that is open to the differences, meaning the differences of higher vibrational. See, I see Pisces is very high vibrational. Now, you know, of course, we're going to have that mix. Pluto going into Aquarius. Aquarius outside the box wants to reinvent, you know, and it's going to bring us new ideas, technology, so many things, you know. So when it changes, we kind of feel a jolt. I really think we're going to feel a big jolt on the 22nd when Uranus changes from
in March.
No, this month.
Oh no, this month. Okay.
Sunday, I think it is.
Sunday.
You're going to feel that because Uranus rules Aquarius. It's shocks and surprises. It's stuff that you wouldn't think outside the box. You know, it's just but you feel that because, again, Uranus is the only planet that he orbits, but he's on his side. You know, we all go like this. He goes like this. You know, so totally outside the box. You never know what's.
You never know what's coming. Yeah, I have heard things are going to get better. So maybe something good will come of all of this. Yeah. Wow,
it will. It's going to take about, you know, a year, two. To get leveled out, but just hold on. You know, don't fall for the media's BS. Don't fall for the distractions. Keep following your heart, knowing what you know, and staying true to the truth. Because all this lies, all this stuff, they will be exposed. Now, are we going to know everything? No, probably not. But we're going to know enough that it changes our path and our journey of humanity, you know.
Yep. So Jules wonders how we can understand what the nodes are in our chart
Okay,
in
so
general.
the North Node, I usually use the North Node and the MC, which is the midheaven, to show what your soul wanted to work on in this lifetime. So the South Node is what you have already mastered or have experiencing from other lifetimes, right? So this, you want to, you have that set of skills with that South Node. So you don't ever want to not use it. These are things that tools in your tool bag that you have. But the North Node is where you haven't been before or haven't been in a while. So you're going to explore that new territory. And if you work together with your MC, your midheaven, you'll see what that means, what your soul was pointing at for you.
Okay, that's good.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Is cool.
I love it.
So Kate wonders, can you talk about the out of bounds planets in George's chart? Are you talking about George Santos?
Yeah.
Is that who you mean? Oh, well, do you know?
Well, yeah, she was telling me that, I think it was, I forget who said it. Oh, Andre with Linda G was explaining his chart, saying a lot of planets were out of bounds. I'm going to ask Diana for help on this. Out of bounds is when you are a 23 degree. How does that work? It's a degree out there that isn't on
all within the realm of normalcy.
Yeah, like on the elliptical, right? And it's like on a usual like degree on the elliptical. So you see your solar system going around the sun. This goes like out of that elliptical, either above or below somehow. And when you see the moon out of bounds, now that's really important. The moon out of bounds, you really don't want to get into new things, because it's unknown. It's unknown territory, Now, just because he had all these planets out of bounds, and I'm sure there's a lot of really beautiful people, heart-centered, honest people who have stuff out of bounds, but they just used it in a different...
To the better advantage. Yeah.
Right. To better themselves and humanity instead of not. Yeah,
because you have a choice. We all have that shadow side. Are we going to develop that, or are we going to develop, we're going to develop our good side? And a lot of people, especially in politics, I think it's just this thing goes to their head. So Juno, you want a message? Okay.
I love what Painter has up there.
I've got it. I'm coming up next. I'm going to bring it up as soon as we're done with what Juno has to say.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Diana. That's why I like doing astrology with Diana.
Oh yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
We vibe off each other. If I forget.
You do. Yep. You got the bounce going there, girls. Yep. That's for sure. All right.
It's a lot of information.
It is. I honestly, I don't know how you can remember it. I admire all of the astrologers that I know, because it's, to me, it's like a mathematical equation, and I can't remember the tarot cards, so that's why I don't do them. Yeah. That's why I don't do them.
I was like, oh, I would never be able to learn that. It's too much math. But once the planets come alive for me, and they do it, all other astrologers, and you just get this boom,
I do.
Oh,
all right. So Juno, I get here that you're working on balancing things. You've got people sitting on those waterboard things, and they're trying to retain their balance in what's going on in their lives. Because sometimes you feel sort of like duality. You feel like sometimes you're stuck, and other times you feel like you're opened up and you're all set. And maybe even feeling frozen, but communion is coming. It's raining down on you. Look at that. And of course, your friend is in town. I'm seeing that that's coming together for you eventually here. And you're going to feel a lot more centered after that time period goes by. There you go.
And goes right along with Allie's, all her cards, self-trust. This is a
Uh-huh.
Sage Goddess deck. I'm just going to read it real quick. The
Mhm.
time has come to really trust who you are and love yourself fully. If there are parts of you that you are out of alignment with your faith or your values, call them into alignment now so you will feel better and more
Mhm.
integrated. Then trust your intuition and inner knowing without question, going as much as you can with the flow of your desires and passions. Cultivate your higher self as a trusted ally and seek its voice in meditation. And I know you do all that.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're speaking to the choir here, but yeah. Just know you're very loved, Juno.
Yes, you are. And you're so talented and gifted. I
I
mean,
know. She is. She is. All right, I'm going to wait on Andrea's thing here, but Oil Painter says the two she has for March are Saturn and Pluto, and it will be like we're a baby nation again.
yeah,
Well, and
yeah.
we're watching that. That's like we're watching Katie Porter sit in there reading, how not to give an F about the world. The
Mhm.
subtle art of not giving an F. And here she says also the positive aspects that will come with these changes will support the new beginning.
Yes,
So, yeah.
yes. And that can't be emphasized enough. Okay, so it's the very beginning, though. That's why
Uh-huh.
we want to give it that year or so to solidify, to see. We'll have a better gauge of how it's going. And we're going to have a lot to do with that because Aquarius is all about humanity,
Right.
humanitarian, life affirming for all. This is
Right.
not
Yep.
Capricorn where, oh, only the rich get stuff
Right.
and the rest of you
Right.
don't. That's a
Yep.
no.
And that's exactly what we're dealing with. And that has to
Mhm,
come down. That has to be torn down.
mhm.
She says also to be our highest self, look at your rising sign
Yeah,
to the east and how your north node sign. How is
yeah,
your north node sign? Okay.
yeah. Your
That's good
rising
to know.
sign, she's saying to your east because it's right here on the outer. So
Out of, yeah.
you want to take your rising sign, which is there. Your MC is at the top, and your north node will
Mhm.
be in one of the uh, houses in whatever planet.
Uh-huh. Hi, Mims. How are you, dear?
Hi, Miss
Um,
Williams.
yes, Carolyn Adams. It's really hard for me. I resonate better to tell the story with the oracles, and that's what I work with. So Andrea brought up the third set of documents. I just think they just should wait till all the damn documents are found and then say this is where they were found and how they're doing. And that I think this is just a normal thing. What makes Trump's abnormal is that he had so many of them. I mean, what did he have? 17,000 of them or something. And I'm
And he
thinking, yeah.
didn't give them back. He didn't want
And
to
he
give
didn't want to give them back. Yeah.
them.
We did,
Well,
and so,
I say this though, if anybody is shady, I don't care what party you're in, who you are. We're at a very crucial time as our nation is growing and evolving, and it's
yep,
blowing up while it's doing it. But
yep.
there's a lot of shady stuff the Democrats did. Now I am as left wing as
Oh,
you
I
can.
know. No, I
I'm
agree.
I'm
Yes.
all about truth and integrity, but
Mhm.
it should all come out.
It
It's,
should. It should.
and they should have been on this too. While Trump was getting this all going on with him initially, this should have been number one thing to look at in the Biden administration. But
That's true. If it's already there, then maybe we better check it because
yeah,
we want to be in integrity as well. Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Now he's
And
being
yes.
in integrity and giving it back, taking care of it. But
Mhm.
that they're going to twist it and make
Yeah.
it the sky's
Make it.
falling.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
absolutely.
didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Juno says, I love how this community collaborates. And yes, honestly, whatever you guys have to say, I want to know. And
Yeah,
I know Valerie does too. So
yeah. I love everybody.
Karen would like a reading. She wants to know about her spirit guides. And if anybody
Right.
else does, please let me know because we're just at an hour now and we're going to start probably winding down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's coming in town today. Her flight was early.
Oh. I think it's great. Yeah, Valerie hasn't seen her mother for 4 years, and she's going to see her mother, and I want to make sure she's there to get her. So,
Yeah. Well, she's already got the transportation.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Albuquerque police arrested the former House Republican who hired people to shoot at Democrats. Yes, I did read that. That's coming out. That's coming out. He says that his election was rigged, even though we know that wasn't true. Yeah. And he was shooting into the homes of these Democrats. Fortunately, nobody got hurt. However, they found the bullets, and one of them went through a house and into a little girl's bedroom.
Oh my God.
And if he had been in there,
it doesn't matter. That's attempted murder. That's attempted.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
He should get the book thrown at him. Just thank God he wasn't elected. What an idiot!
I know. Horrible man. I know.
These are the things that are being exposed. That's a Pluto thing right there. Somebody went into the low road.
Yeah. Yep.
And Pluto's going to expose it. It's right there in real time, and that's going to keep happening. We've been watching it happen.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, Karen, I've got yours, and I have. Let's see. There was another one, I think. Let me get it up here. So I've got Karen, Carolyn, and Stacy, and I guess I'm just going to cut it off because it's been an hour after Stacy. So we'll read you, and then we'll let Valerie get ready for her mom's visit. So, Karen, I'm getting that you've gotten your confidence going for you, and that you're feeling fairly centered and feeling as though things are going the right way for you. Either that, or you've been working on your confidence, but you've got confidence that's surrounding you. And that brings into your life more well-being. So it's taking care of yourself. Yeah. It's being kind to yourself. It's balancing yourself out. And so that's very, very important. And whatever it is that you're wanting to do, the universe says yes. Yes. Look at that. I know.
Cool.
So, yeah, whatever it is, I don't know if it has something to do with your home, and maybe it doesn't, but our home is this planet as well. So you're a part of it. But yeah, I get that. That's what I get for you. Yeah.
Karen, I got divine alignment. Again, these are Sage Goddess deck. Like a shooting star that has glided onto the depths of the earth expanse, you gracefully gliding along and grounding into the terrain with a message only you can bring. Do you remember your sacred offering? Have you tapped into the breadth and depth of your mystery? Shine and allow yourself to be seen, and be open widely to the wisdom of this journey, which you are. You are.
And she has a job interview. Good luck. I get a yes for you. There you go. You'll have to let us know.
That's the first thing I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I mean, is it a job you want, Karen? Is it something that you're excited about? Pluto wants us to be in alignment.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, I know. Good luck with that, Karen. That's great. Yep.
Page of Pentacles. Good. And the Fool. The Fool. So definitely a new start.
A new start for you. There you go. There you go. All right. Oh, thanks, Miss Mims. We love you. All right. Let's see. We got Stacy Richardson. Oh, we got Carolyn first. I'm so sorry. Okay. She would like to ask her spirit guides what they want her to know.
You got it.
All right.
That's why you just jack a lot. This Sage Goddess dead. It is all spirit. Spirit guides talking.
That's really awesome. I have the new moon deck from them. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love her whole setup.
Yep, I don't blame you. So the first one I get, Carolyn, is home. HOME, and it looks like this. Look at home is where the heart is. Look at all the hearts, and so there's something about your home that's that they're speaking about, and they said that it's rooted. But look at this. Are you going somewhere? You want to go? I think. Look at that. You want to go out for your camper is what you want. Yeah. because you've been rooted to your house, and of course it's winter, so we feel, we can't go anywhere. But something is going to happen because serendipity card comes in, and look at that, just beautiful. You've got serendipity, and it's around your home. Down at the bottom, it says home again. Something about home. 3 home cards.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it looks like that last one kind of looks like spring, because Carolyn, it's going to be ready to go.
Ready to go.
March, April.
Yep.
Yeah,
that will be the serendipity. That's right.
Woohoo! I got freedom of expression for you.
Ooh, okay.
And this fear of judgment now, let it constrict you no longer. Know that the expression of your highest truth is protected and supported by spirit. Speak your authentic wisdom with conviction and courage. Rest assured that doing so will bring you to where you are meant to be. Share your truths from a place of loving compassion, so your words land with the intention you use to compose them.
Wow.
That's a good one now.
It is a beautiful message.
I'm just going to put it up there in case you want to read it later.
Okay. Thanks, Carolyn. Hopefully that's a good message for you.
I know, she wants to go. I can feel it.
I'm ready to do something. I don't know exactly. All right, Stacy, what do your guides want you to know today? Ooh.
Carolyn says they resonate. You're welcome, Carolyn.
Yeah. That's good, Carolyn. All right. So I got some interesting cards for you, Stacy. The first one I get is Crystal Vision.
Oh my God. No way. You have to stop for 1 second. This is a card I picked for her. It's called Crystal Kingdom Allies. And it was just about to talk about her. Oh my God. Go ahead. I'll read it.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, yeah, I'm feeling as though you could work well with the stones.
Yeah.
You've got the gift of sight with the stones, and it will open up your eyes to that's amazing. Oh, you will be a leader in whatever it is that you want to do. That you will know how to do it, and you'll be a good leader. You'll be the Ruth Bader Ginsburg of stones. There's a man, I think, that's going to help you. It might be a youngish man. I don't know. He's the prince. So, and it actually could be, if you have a spouse, it could be that person, or it could be a son or a son-in-law or something. But woohoo! Good for you. I know.
That is so crazy. Okay, so you got Crystal Kingdom Allies. Mother Earth's womb is lined with crystals and minerals in the many colors of the light spectrum. Each one is a unique and specialized healer with wisdom and transformational energies to share and imprint upon you. Spread your hands wide and imagine each fingertip plugging into a different vortex of our sacred planet. Call in those energies and allow them to support you, encourage you, and heal you from within. And the stone for this is bloodstone, in case you're looking for it.
Wow, it's in her blood. I think it sounds like yeah, it's in your blood, Stacey. Everybody's like, they got chills and everything here. Wow. Yeah. Everybody's got goosebumps and chills. There you go.
And the thing with Andrea was just asking about crystals. We were talking, she's feeling called to crystals again. So I kept hearing Andrea in my head too while I'm talking to Stacey. So cool. That's so cool.
My dogs are all like, it's been an hour. It's been an hour.
Mine's asleep. He's usually talking to me by now.
I know. I'm almost done, sweetie. I'm almost done.
Good girl.
Yeah. Aww. Enjoy, Stacy. Enjoy it, my dear. Yeah. Valerie, thank you so very much. You're so wise and full of wisdom. And thank you to all those in the chat, including Diana and Juno and Andrea and others, Kate, all of you in the chat, and those who shared with us and those who just are here and sharing the love, because we sure appreciate it. And let's do this again very soon.
Love
All right.
everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Wally, love you.